Okay, so the question is, when does parental control end in the life of their children? Full stop. It's not even a question. Yes, when does parental control end in the life of their children?
I don't think it ever ends.
In the words of the lyricist,
You don't think it?
In the words of what?
lyricist Davido.
Right.
If you don't get money, you don't suffer. If you don't have money,
It's a bit louder than that still.
your parents are going to look at you like, I'm paying this guy's school fees or this money is under my life.
So money is the pathway to
Honestly, that makes sense.
Yep.
To be honest, that makes sense. If I'm caring, if I'm paying for your well-being, then I have some
More
kind of control. You know, as opposed to like if I'm the one financing my own life, then I'm my own man.
Control over what exactly? Parents by yourself, because I'm confused.
Okay, so here's my thing. Like,
What?
you can't be preaching like you're about to say,
Hello, children. Go and control your parents when you got money, because we are just
no, it's not.
ourselves.
You know what? It's one of those ones where if a child says, if I talk to somebody, right, and they say, oh yeah, like my parents always tell him to do this, my parents always tell him to do that, tell him to do this. I say, where do you live? You say, oh, I live with my mom. I say, oh, who pays for your car? Oh, my dad. Who pays for your phone? My dad. I'll say,
Well,
yeah, it makes sense. But like, you don't have much control.
You can cover those things for yourself.
That's
and then
what
you
I'm
have to be in
saying.
control.
Oh,
Wait,
that's a different.
No, but you
conversation.
can have those things covered for yourself. And
Then that one you need to.
like control still comes in at the end of the day. Probably like you're trying to get married and they're like, okay, you can't marry that person.
Where's the root of the problem, as you're saying?
Let's go back to this. Wait, just pause. Let's not jump after this. You landed on the control aspect of them having a part in picking the person's course, right? I'd like to even backtrack a little bit. I feel like, and this is not a very popular opinion, as a child grows and as a parent grows, and I say this with two experiences: with the experience of having been a firstborn child that has grown, and with the experience of teaching children who are struggling with their relationship with their parents, where they tend to see their parents as being controlling, and we talk about it every time. And I say it, and I say this: when a child is growing up onto that stage, ideally, and we don't live in an ideal world, there should be room for communication. What I've noticed in Nigerian culture is that communication is stifled, and then it's only built back up when the child reaches where you're talking about, so around uni, right? So around the teenagers, many parents feel like this disconnect, but it's not like it's impossible to build communication there. It is just, there has to be an understanding of, there has to be a remembrance. I won't say understanding, and I say remembrance because parents often forget that when they were our ages, they had a different mindset. Now, as teenagers, in that, because that's what we're talking about, we're not saying that they should give us advice as when they were teenagers, but understand that they were once teenagers, and have that connection to like understand that, okay,
I was at this stage.
first of all, I understand you. When that understanding is now a foundation, they now give the advice as a father, as a mother, or as an elderly person. Because if that communication is broken, all that
what if that's really? Because that's like, because I think some parents just believe, okay, until probably you are 25 or until probably you got into university, you don't know anything else. You don't have sense. You understand? So like, it's as you are going to do school, you are going to go there, even if you are getting bullied, they'll be like, okay, suck it up, there's no problem, you get it. That's like, they will say, yeah, report the teacher. And then I also think, probably for fathers right now, I think some fathers, they might be present in the child's life, but they're absent somehow. Like it's just like because probably the child going to like 2 or 3.
That just unlocked memories, man.
So like the child has got like 3 years old. You don't want to one memory really.
Like I've always been like cool with my mom, but like it wasn't until I came to uni that like my mom would actually like call me and say, let's talk.
Really?
I'm like, bro, what are we talk about? Like, what are we literally going? Like, it wasn't like 2 years later that we found out that we both love like money and shopping. So we'd be like we literally just called to talk about like deals happening over the internet.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely like a person to person because I've been close to my parents. Like we did road trips going they go out together and that's
Like what you say, you had road trips that we didn't camp. What?
What Yeah.
No, but
I understand what you're saying in the sense that like when you are older, there's kind of this expectation that you'll be closer, but some parents don't build it from the start. Yeah, you're just 20 and they're like, oh, we are best friends.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
would-
bro,
yeah.
chill, relax.
I mean, also to go off on your point where you said that they were talking for a bit and then they stopped. I feel like sometimes talking isn't enough, and here's what I'm saying. There are families that have both parents there, and obviously the parents provide because it's like I will only speak for Nigerians because I've seen it like most Nigerian parents say to us, my job is to provide for you.
That's it. Love.
I mean physical provision. Like,
Yeah.
you need this, just tell me. I'll tell you whether or not you're getting it or not. Like, and that's the count. But like, I feel like in the world we live in, we are in a generation where we have conversation with ourselves and we understand that there has to be more than just that provision. Like, because and I'm hammering on that thing that you said talk. Because I know people that their parents said that they talk. Their parents did not die, right? But their parents did not separate. But they still lack that emotional connection. Because if a child, like you said, if a child's coming back from school, is telling you that they're bullying him. Nigerian parents, what's the first question they ask you?
What do you do?
What do you do? What do you do? Now imagine a Nigerian family here that the children are small, right? They're going to school, where it's a whole different ball game. In Nigeria, we can understand why you're asking the question because maybe your child has first coin. But your child can actually just be getting trouble because him and his white friend and his Asian friend all did something, but it's only him.
Yeah. Now in detention.
And sometimes and I feel like if you think about it, most of the most significant memories you have of our parents is not the I'm taking you to shop around doing this. It's the time when you just sat down and just some small tiny emotional connection. Maybe my daddy just told you some details. Like, man,
so
I respect this man.
Yeah, I get you like that. It's always a special moment. Example for me, there are two examples. One, I love soccer a lot.
Do you want to cry?
No. But like the thing is that like my dad normally made time out for us to like watch soccer together and like to watch it. And when they score a goal, he'll hug me. Exactly. Yes, like that. Remembering that kind of thing just made me like always want to like, okay, well, I created this kind of bond and like we just like grow on it. And from there we started having this thing called like Father and Son Day. So like one day out of the month you take me out and you spend all this money.
You make money!
Pause.
Yeah.
It's not him that's spending, it's you.
They do
You are
spend
spending
money.
let's say it right.
The money is spent either way.
But honestly, it's those special moments that like
stuck with
really
you.
like made me grow my bond with my father to say that okay, I'm having a problem now. Like I've literally talked to my dad about like every woman problem I've had.
Wow.
Before I talk to my friends about
We
it.
love to see it. Progress.
We love to see it.
But yeah.
No, go ahead, finish it.
But like the thing is that he still has some control over me. Like I remember my first year, he asked me, "Oh, do you know where you going to at this time?" Just or something. Sometimes I'll add the guy, but don't say Ed.
Daddy was sorry.
Sorry.
And I'll be like, "Oh shit, I didn't see your message. Like, my phone was off." But like, I think it also comes on a level of responsibility you take.
Yeah.
So like my passport now, when it was like done, I wanted to renew it. I did everything myself. I bought my ticket. I went there myself. I came back. I texted him that I've done this, I've done that. And from then on, he saw that like I was taking more responsibility.
Yes.
So like he was calm with me. Like when I say, "Oh, I'm traveling to this place. I'm traveling there." So like it's also learning how to like be ready to take responsibility.
I think where that thing starts from is when you are small and then they do passport for you and they go and keep it somewhere. Like,
oh my God.
Like there's always a place where they hide passports.
Yeah.
I don't know why do they hide the passports.
Because somebody can break it.
It's an important thing.
No, like I think every home has like that one bag
Yeah.
I was under my mother's
Well, you all know it's an African thing. There's always this one place where our parents hide our passports and our very, very important documents. That are under the bed, on the cupboard, somewhere that is, I don't know, you just don't know about it. And I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they do it. So probably because they don't want you to wake up one day and run away, or they don't want armed robbers to come in and move it and stuff, just for it to be secure. But then, it's an African practice.
See, we cannot say that we don't even know what our identity is. See, we came here because no, you're saying facts.
My name,
everybody.
my name is
Oh,
Adelua, and I thought that was my first name.
This whole time.
Yes, until I came to Canada and they said that Jody, your first name is Nathaniel. Your first name is
I'm like, facts. Yeah, for real. No, but wait. I think just to play or something. Why are they hiding passport? Because what's house going? Remember when you used to pack your logo and say, I'm leaving this house. Your mother knows that you can take passport and go to the airport and say, my mom is in America. I don't have money for ticket, take me. And they'll bite.
And they'll take off you. I've done that so many times.
Yo.
I remember one time my friend, like, we lived, she lived next door to me. She came to my house, she said, I'm tired of my family, let's go.
Let's.
I said, we?
One thing I hate parents doing is like, oh, I did something bad, then you start comparing me to like my friend that I know that is dropping out or is doing something as bad.
See, oh my god.
Oh,
See,
you know, person they compare you with. They don't see.
They don't know them.
They don't know that person is even like.
I feel like
Should I tell you?
Yes.
You know what I tell you?
Yes.
You can know what I tell you.
Like, let me not just stop. Because
I feel like that's
You
all
know
part of the
themselves.
control thing. I feel like that's all part of the control thing. Because they see other people. You know, African communities like, oh, what would they say?
Oh,
What
other
other
people.
people? It's a big significant element. Because they're like, oh, this person is doing this, person is doing this. This is how you should live your life. And things like that. So they want to make sure that they decide, you know, that their image stays as it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, in addition to that, I also feel like there are some parents that have come from a very difficult place, and in that difficulty, they have a misconstrued. I feel like I butchered that word. And that's it. Sorry for my English. They have a very messed up way of seeing reality. So if they came from a very dark place, they wanted that their children grow up to be. The intentions are pure, like you can clearly see. I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, but like the approach, man, like your son is good in soccer, bro. Why you wasn't the guy to do engineering? Just give the and
See, it is not touching you personally.
oh, you wanted to be a soccer player.
No. See,
The way
I think everybody from Nigeria always wanted to play football. Like
The
we
guy,
grew up with a ball, and then probably you were jail on the streets, and then you're like, okay, you're seeing the coach, and then you wanted to follow. But then you notice that, oh man, maybe it's not for me. That's
Exactly. Because when you play on the field, there's no
that's like, yeah, because when you enter like standard, and then running around, you be like, okay, now I know why. What is that?
But you see the difference. I don't mean to compare parents, but I've studied the way some parents here do their thing, in the sense of now Nigerian parents have a harsh way of saying it's not for you, as opposed to the parents that I see here in Canada, whereas they're like, okay, you have an interest in hockey, I'm gonna take you to hockey practice.
Exactly.
You have that same part. Then I'll sit you down and say, look, if you want to do this, I'll do it with you. But you must know it's hard.
One thing I've observed, because like I watch a lot of interviews with people, and then what they have in common is that parents don't support them until that thing begins to make sense.
Like
you do, you understand? It's not just David Go, so many other guys, you understand?
Guys started back.
So it's until that thing begins to like take off. You get, because really, I think around the world, not just Africans, I feel like they believe get your first degree, go to school. Even if you want to do, even if you want to like become a photographer or anything,
Get
as like,
have backup.
have that backup. You understand? Yeah.
And it
But
makes sense.
I think,
It
no.
does.
See, it makes sense because they believe, okay, they've been in the world way before you, and they understand. You see, falls down to this control thing. You've seen what your friends' children are doing. They are doing engineering.
Oh yes.
But then your son says he wants to do fashion design.
Oh, he's not good at it. Let him.
How do you know he's not good at it?
Sometimes I won't lie to you.
No, how do you know he's not good at it?
That's the point.
I won't lie to you. There's some of my friends. Shout out to all of them. Some of them are saying that they are aspiring musicians.
Oh, wait, stop. Tell me now. Not that one day I'll just sit down on my bed like, go no, but how far now?
I'm talking about Nigerian Travis. David is lit. Exactly. And sometimes told them.
No.
I mean, sometimes I'll tell you something like, oh boy, maybe like second work no day, something, maybe also for more money.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because I feel like your parents grow up and they see your interest sometimes, but only you know. But like sometimes they see your interest and they're like, guy, this music thing you are going to. Not the same because you just do choir for 5 that now you think you can do it again. Let's go back.
Don't you think that at least don't you think that parents should be able to allow
allow failure?
Okay,
That's
see,
like
I think
parents don't want that.
I think parents, one thing that I want to be wealthy for a reason, because my kids can explore everything. Your bills will be paid if you fail. That's like, parents are there to be like a safety net, you know? If your kids want to explore music, bro, your first year you may not be good at music, your first 2 years, 3 years, but that 5th year, if you can blow, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe they sing like producer. Exactly.
But the parents are supposed to be there to be like a pillar. However, I can understand, for example, like if you're coming from like a family of like 5 kids, they are supporting you. You are their firstborn. By now, you're supposed to have been, on your own, graduated, have a job, make things, and they have 4 to still train. It's like they still have 4 kids to train. So I can understand that, but I still think that parents, we should be able to allow.
I understand what you're saying, but like there's privilege in that. In saying
100 101%.
Then that's the problem, because some parents only have so much.
That's true.
That's true. I think the most important element is the emotional part, but that also too. It's very difficult for some parents to do that, because you are working how many hours? You come home, you're tired, and now you have to do. But honestly, if you can't, I personally feel like if you can't do at least that bit, don't have children.
On God.
On God. No, but
I can't tell anybody.
On God.
I agree with you, but
let me tell you, if I do it, I still play for 1 hour, 2 hours on my PS4. What's that now? How do I get home and
I think another important thing to remember is that like these parents, like it's not like they had a handbook or anything, you know?
Yeah.
They're only like parenting you based off what they know. So not to oh my god. No, not to base it off like personal experiences, but like I have friends that they've openly like told me about their families and stuff, and like their grandparents are like military based, like so if their parents were raised in that kind of like
it's
family, that household, what is love to them?
So basically, the parent situation doesn't excuse how they raise their kids, but like you also can't blame them if that's how they choose to raise them, because that's the only thing they know. But what I was trying to say was that like there's no handbook, and so there's no guideline on what they should or should not do, but they should still try to like put themselves out there and like learn to know what to do better, if you know what I mean.
Parents learn, because by the time you check the way parents raise the first, second, and third, compared to the last 200, you understand? You notice that you be like, because most of the time it looks as if they are lenient.
very lenient.
I'm like, there are things I see my younger brother do, I be like, oh man. Back in the day,
Exactly.
Back in the day,
you have no idea how lucky you are.
Like, so I think sometimes they learn and then they be like, okay, I feel control will box you. Really? Control will box you. Like you want to do your own thing. But then it's like, no, I'm paying for this.
The expectation.
You understand?
I think like academically what you said plays like a huge role, because sometimes you see yourself like struggling for grades that you're not even interested in. Like you don't care about that subject, but oh my god, my parents, like if I don't get this, and that gives like in terms of pressure, bro, it's a lot to handle. Especially like when you're younger and stuff.
You must be first in class.
There was a course in our secondary school. TD, technical drawing. TD. I told my dad, that I can't do this course. He said, no, you do it. He brought me lesson teacher. This guy was teaching me. I said, guy, we won't learn anything. Me and you. We talk, when we are lesson, we'll talk about soccer, team. We'll be arguing about Chelsea, Barcelona. He will teach me small things. I'll just say, guy, I'm not learning anything. I got 1 F. He said, don't worry, you do well. Second F, you do well. Third F, I beg, this is not for you.
Aside the pressure that, aside the academic part,
Yeah.
there's some other aspects that, like, that control also brings in. Like you said before, now you're pampering your, I will not call it pampering, but now you're just guarding your child because, see, at some point you will not be there. For me, I feel you can only learn when you make attempts, when you fail, you understand? But it seems as if, like, there's this one way, and that one way is so smooth that you go all the way to the very end. Then it now seems like a surprise when you like get to the blue and be like, oh, and like once you enter the
The one that you're talking about is job searching. Because they didn't tell me about that job search. They didn't tell me that I will try. They will give me resume. I will apply jobs.
Unfortunately,
I'm like, but my mother told me I'm special. Why did you tell me that?
No, you are even trying. I have the skills, sir, give me a chance. It's me. You can do. If I will take your company to the top, or you will blow. I'm your destiny. I will not see. I'm this company's future. Post-COVID.
When they were asking me, I remember first when I just started interviews, and they were like, oh, why should we hire you? Because I'm good enough.
I know, I feel you. If I think I'm insulted. Like, you not have to say.
Exactly. You know who I am.
But I 100% agree with you, and I think it's a very huge fact that it's a different environment. More so, it's not even the opportunities, it's the fact that you have to grow as an individual, because you're sending kids here, you're not sending 20-something year old that's coming to do masters. You're sending a teenager here. Half of them 15, 14, 18, coming here to form their values and their concepts. Everything you've taught them for these 14 years is put a test. Really test. Really, you can tell your child, don't smoke, you don't have tattoo. My guy, you have tattoo here. You will never see it. To the day you're going for a beach vacation when you're married, like, where do you get this? Next year.
I think that's where the
And you can't do anything.
comes from.
And you cannot do
That's where it
anything.
comes from, because they feel like they're giving you all this training, but when you come here, you're thrown into the deep end. They need to make sure that they have enough of a hold on you. So it's not like go straight too far. And that's where the danger is. Because the hold on too
If you're
far.
paying my fees, you already have enough of a hold.
You could call me back anytime. Right?
When I realized
Yes,
when I realized I was very happy that I left was the first time I came to this and I slept. When I woke up, I was hearing my mother's voice in my ear. Because she's the one that normally wakes me up and tells me. So when I'm doing anything bad, I still hear it in my ears. So I'm just like, Jody, what are you doing? Jody, what are you doing? I know. No, sometimes that control can be can make your mental health very bad.
No, honestly, I agree. But I'm saying as we as the children, right? It's not our fault. As we're growing up, for example, I'll use an example. I don't want to talk about, but I'll talk about my mom. She has her rules, right? Recently, when we have family meetings, my siblings probably hate me at this point. Why? Because I'm like, they'll tell me their own case. Mommy tell me her own case, why they're fighting. And for some reason, I'm never on anybody's side. I'm just like, before we solve this, you must be able to see her side. And she must be able to see your side. If that can't happen, I'm just making noise. No, truthfully, and I feel like if we build this,
you guys, that's a good tip. Try that.
Hey, be careful. It doesn't always end well. It doesn't always end well. But like, and that's why I keep hammering on this understanding, because I'm not saying 100% of the time they'll listen, because we know African parents listening is something they want us to know.
No, so I don't think they listen to their children. If it is because I've been in a situation where I told my guy, brother, I told my dad that he said
please never text that. I'm not forgetting when I said you people.
You guys.
Like, can we actually talk?
You guys.
No, so I told him that. See, like, I told him this was this. He was like, okay, no problem. But he had to ask like 5 people. You understand? To make that okay that this is actually this.
But that does that thing too.
And then I feel like they think that at some like you've not gotten to like that point where they be like okay,
Right.
this guy can actually like handle and discuss and then tell me this thing.
This is a good way to reduce the parental control. I won't advise anybody. but sometimes you need to block your parents. Like a gift.
No, I understand what you're saying. My mother said, I was talking to my siblings and my mom yesterday.
Oh my
She was
God.
like, you boy always on Snapchat. Let me get Snapchat too so I can see. I said,
Excuse me, once we play.
No.
that's my Instagram. That's it. Maybe that one is too
I know.
much.
Instagram is fun now. Facebook
Maybe that one is too much.
You know
Facebook is the bus stop.
There's one time, like, if my mother ever sees this video, she'll forgive me. Sometimes give me
Presentation.
Let me print it out.
Get your thing.
You know, like when you want to go, when you want to go for like
that's the way.
sleepovers. When you want to go for sleepovers, I've done presentation. PowerPoint. The reasons why I should do this.
They need to see the logic. They need to see the logic. That's so bad.
Oh my God!
Come to this Canada.
I'm actually shook.
It was me. I'm the one that did everything. I found it. Yeah, I went for the college fair. And I sent them email about the college fair. And I sent them videos about the college fair.
And then you CC your parents.
Yeah, exactly. So they cannot say, okay, let's go. This boy is looking interested in this thing. Let's go and see it. When the NASA was interested, the NASA said, okay.
What do you need?
Yeah, what do you actually need? Sometimes I won't lie, you have to go the extra mile for your parents.
I think the one thing that works with them is reason. Like, I might say something. There's been so many instances where, like, maybe I debate with my dad a lot. Like, it's like, if there's not like in terms of the political things and things like that, I'm like, okay, this is it. He's encouraged me to be very,
That's good.
And
That's good.
sometimes in the moment she's like, no. Like I told my mom something, she's like, no. And the next day she comes back and she's like, oh. And then you realize that they've changed. They will not tell you in the moment because they don't want to accept it to you.
Yes.
They're human beings, so they have pride.
Yeah.
But once you know the approach,
No.
once you take the right approach,
You have to know your parents.
Okay, is that why you're angry? They'll be like, are you
How